At the home where neighbors say it happened, a man vacuums the front steps after replacing a glass door. Fox 4 asked what happened.
I guess you'll have to check with other authorities.
Well, do you know the circumstances that led to it?
Police are not sharing any details beyond that the shooting happened just before 10 o'clock Thursday night and that the, quote, suspect was brought to headquarters to give a statement. Older visitors also did not answer questions.
Do you know any details about it?
Yeah, but I'm not at liberty to give that out, man. You know that.
Why not? Well, you're a friend.
Yeah, he's my buddy, man, and I love him to death.
Is he an older guy? It's not this guy, right?
No, come on, man. We all take care of one another, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Under attack! What do we do? When black lives are under attack, what do we do? Stand up! 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 Black lives matter! Black lives matter! Black lives matter!
I wrote this morning, I woke up and I was thinking about Ralph and I just started writing. And this is what came out. This is not another dead black boy paraded in a poem for clicks and views. This is spiritual, a war being waged in broad day. Biblical, he lives.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about a very sad story that is more sad than it should be because the mainstream liberal media is unnecessarily playing the race card here, okay? They're trying to make this story more racial than the current evidence suggests. And they're doing this because this story right here fits the narrative, and they will do anything to distract from the real stories that we should be talking about in this country in regards to crime, which is what is happening in these inner liberal cities like Chicago and LA. You know, places where you have black people and black teenagers, black kids losing their lives in dozens on a weekly basis, and the mainstream liberal media ignores it. But here we have a story where you have a black teenager that gets shot by a white man because the black teenager allegedly rung the wrong doorbell. And it is the #1 story in the mainstream liberal media right now because all the race hustlers are out in full force, right? You got Ben Crump, okay, and his lackeys and the race hustlers. They're protesting, okay? They're protesting because they want this white man that shot this black teenager, okay? The teenager's name is Ralph Yarl, okay? They want this white man to be charged with attempted murder, okay? Because he shot this black teenager who allegedly went to the wrong house. He rung the wrong doorbell as he was looking for the house to pick up his siblings. And apparently the white man came out, told him, don't come back around here, and shot him in the head and the arm, okay? And then after that, Mr. Ralph had to get up and go to 3 houses in order to seek treatment and help before he actually got it. And he was sent to the hospital, and he has been released from the hospital after recovery. Now, the woke revolutionary is upset because the white man hadn't been charged as of the making of this video, except now he has been charged literally as I'm making this video. He's been charged. We know his identity and everything. But yeah, they were upset because he hadn't been charged with attempted murder, okay? But now he has been charged. So I want to give my opinion on this. But first, I want to play a news clip so you guys can get a better understanding of what's going on here. And then I'm going to, after that, play a clip of the prosecutor discussing the charges that are being brought against the man that shot the boy. Take a look.
Teenager is now out of the hospital days after he was shot when he went to the wrong house, the wrong address, to pick up his siblings. The focus now turns towards the investigation. People in the community want some accountability. Welcome to Fox 4 News at 4. I'm Lauren Halifax.
And I'm Kevin Barry. Thursday night, just before 10, Kansas City, Missouri police say Ralph Yarl went to a home on Northeast 115th Street to get his younger siblings. Thing is, he was supposed to be on 115th Terrace. Family members say the homeowner shot the 16-year-old twice, once in the head. The family now is represented by attorneys Ben Crump and Lee Merritt. Protests are being planned while students get ready for a unity walk showing their support for Yarl. We have team coverage of this case tonight. Later on, Jonathan Ketch is talking with attorneys about Missouri's Stand Your Ground law.
We'll also hear from him in a moment. First, Malik Jackson's covering the community reaction to the shooting. Malik?
Yeah, good evening, Lauren and Kevin. We have some breaking news for you right now. The case has just been submitted to the prosecutor's office for review of possible charges. This has just come into our newsroom. Again, this comes on the day that this 16-year-old was released from the hospital after his family says he was shot 2 times. Once in the arm and once in the head. Again, that breaking news right now that this case from the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department has been turned over to the Clay County Prosecutor's Office for review for possible charges. This is just coming into us, but again, this comes as this community is wrapping their arms around this family, demanding justice. But not only this community, people across this nation are doing that, including Patrick Mahomes, and this is what the Chiefs quarterback had to say a little earlier today.
You never want these situations to happen, but especially from the details that I've gotten from it, I mean, it seemed like it should have never even happened. It should have been a easy kind of conversation, and then both people go on their ways, and in this kid being able to pick up his family members and being with his family right now.
And of course, that's sort of the outcry that we are hearing from many people across the station, again, from celebrities, elected officials alike. But again, right now, what is important is the breaking news that we have just relayed to you, that this case has now been turned over to the Clay County Prosecutor's Office for a review of possible charges.
I want to begin by saying that my heart goes out to the child and family involved in this case. My goal during this process has been and will remain to be seeking justice for him. I wish him and his family strength and healing moving forward. This afternoon, my office received a criminal referral from the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department. After a thorough review of the case file, the appropriate laws, and information gained during the investigation phase of the case, I filed 2 felony counts. In count 1, the defendant, Andrew D. Lester, is charged with the Class A felony of assault in the first degree in that on or about April 13th, 2023, in Clay County, Missouri, he knowingly caused physical injury to P.Y. by shooting him. This is an A felony. It carries with it a range of punishment of up to life. In count 2, the defendant is charged with armed criminal action. This is an unclassified felony. It carries with it a range of punishment between 3 to 15 years. The state is alleging the defendant committed the felony of assault in the first degree as charged in count 1 by, with, and through the knowing use, assistance, and aid of a deadly weapon. As a result of these charges, a warrant was issued for Mr. Lester's arrest, and bond was set at $200,000.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that. Again, before the charges were announced, you had race hustlers like Sean King basically threatening to dox the man who allegedly did this, and to have people go to his home, which, I mean, they're already there, right? Or to basically put a hit out on him. That's basically what Sean King was trying to do. Again, it's amazing stuff. It's amazing what stories they choose to care about, what stories they choose not to care about. And I want to talk about this story, and I want to give my opinion on it real quick before I get into what I really want to talk about. And I want to say this because I don't want people to get confused or get it twisted what I'm trying to say here. Could race have played a role in this shooting? Yes. However, is there any evidence to suggest that race actually played a role? No. Okay, we have very little evidence or any real details about what actually led up to that shooting. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm skeptical about the mainstream liberal media account that this boy just went up to the door, knocked, and all of a sudden he was shot. Okay, that's basically how the story goes. The story goes, he knocked, he waited a little bit, the dude took a long time to get there, and then eventually dude came to the door and then said, don't come back around here, and just shot the boy in the head, and then shot him again while he was on the ground. And the boy who was shot in the head and shot in the shoulder gets up and walks to 3 houses. Again, I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm not saying that, it could not have happened. I just don't necessarily believe it happened like that, okay? Like, I don't believe that somebody, even if they're racist, is just going to shoot somebody because they knock on his door. I don't necessarily believe that. Now, again, this guy's 80 years old. So, who knows? He's an old guy. He could have been scared. He could have thought that somebody was trying to rob him. Who knows? Okay, this boy could have done more than just knock on the door. He could have been walking around the house. It could have looked like he was looking, for something. We don't know. We don't know what actually led up to this child being shot. We only have one side of the story. So to sit here and to crowd racism and say this is racism, blah, 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 I mean, to me, it's just silly. Again, I'm not saying that it can't be. I'm just saying that there's no evidence that it actually is. And that's what really kind of bothers me about this. I think that you can protest and say, hey, we think this guy should be charged without necessarily saying that it's racially motivated. What happened because the boy was black. You don't have any evidence for that. There's no evidence for that. Again, is it possible? Sure. But outside of the skin color, there's no evidence for that. And it's funny to me because the mainstream liberal media is playing into this. They're playing this up. Okay? Look at this CNN headline here. Update. A white man in his 80s is the individual who apparently shot and seriously wounded Ralph Yarl, a black teenager. So if you look at this statement, how they write this headline, right? They wrote it in a way in which you know that the person that shot was a white man and the victim was a black teenager. Now look at this headline from CNN. We're talking about Waukesha, where we all know that a maniac who happens to be a black male ran over 6, 7, 8, I mean, almost dozens of white people. Okay, I think he killed like 6 or 7 people. White. Okay? Let's read the CNN headline. Let's see if race is going to be a component of the headline. Waukesha will hold a moment of silence today, marking 1 week since a car drove through a city Christmas parade, killing 6 people and injuring scores of others. So it's amazing to me how when the victims are white and the perpetrator is black, there's no race narrative here, right? There's no cries about racism. Did this happen because they were white? But when the victim is black and the perpetrator is white, they want to play up the race narrative. Again, it's amazing how that works. Again, that's not to say that, hey, who knows? There could have been some foul play here. I don't know. But it's just amazing to me how race becomes such an important factor in cases like this. But when you have teenagers out in Chicago who are destroying a city, rioting, looting, causing businesses to leave, they don't want to mention the fact that basically 99% of those teenagers are black. Or when you have shootings in which black people actually lose their lives every single weekend, every single week, every single day across this country in these interliberal cities, they never mention the fact that the victims are black, right? And the people that are killing them also just happen to be black, okay? For the most part, statistically speaking. It's funny to me how they only care about black life when it fits a narrative, when it fits the, well, America is systemically racist, the old racist white man is out to get black folks narrative. When it fits that, all of a sudden they care. Thank God the kid is alive. Because if he died, again, we'd never stop hearing the end of it, okay? I mean, it would be wall-to-wall coverage. But you have black kids that are killed every single day. Tragically, brutally murdered in the streets. And they won't get any airtime on CNN. They won't get any national news media coverage. Because nobody gives a damn about black lives when they're taken by other black lives. Your black life is only valuable for as much as the money that the mainstream media and the race hustlers can make off of your death when you get shot and killed by a white person. That's it. Can't make no money off you dying if a black person kill you. But you can make a whole lot of money if a white person kill you, right? The race hustlers and the mainstream liberal media. It's amazing how that works. If these people protested in Chicago, the way they protest when stuff like this happens, again, the problem would be fixed. The problem would be fixed. If they protested in Portland, San Francisco, Oakland, Compton, I did a video about that earlier today. If they protest in those places, Philadelphia, Atlanta, for black lives, we wouldn't have this problem. We wouldn't have this issue. That would be the most effective thing they can do to save black people, to save black lives. But it's not the white man that's taking the black lives. So why in the world is it that black life is only valuable when it's threatened by a white person? It's not valuable. It don't mean shit. It ain't worth nothing when it's taken or threatened by other black folks. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Again, that's not a takeaway from this situation, but justice is being served. It's going, and the case is going to, be in the criminal justice system. We'll discover the facts of the case. We'll discover if race was involved, which, hey, there's no evidence that it was, that race was a factor, but we'll see. Justice is being served. But you got a whole lot of unsolved murders. You got a whole lot of people, a whole lot of criminals that are getting off easy, that are getting off soft, that terrorize black people on a daily basis. And these people have no problem with it. They're silent on that. Again, it really does amaze me where the priorities are at for a lot of these people. It seems to me that they only care when they can gain something financially or socially from it. It's amazing how that works. Anyways, I'm happy that the kid is alive. I hope that justice is served. Either way, whether this, 80-year-old was just defending his home. He thought that the guy was an intruder or whatever. He was defending his home. If he gets off, hey, if that seems to be the case, it is what it is. If he ends up doing time because he was reckless, then hey, it is what it is. But I don't have any conclusions right now because we don't really have that many details. Again, that's a very rare position to take in today's political climate, right? So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.